Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, I've got another exciting session to share with you. In this video, I'll be using the full Spectrum Illumination remote viewing methodology to explore a truly intriguing target. The target for today's session is something that has intrigued and mystified people for decades. The target I was tasked with is the Black Knight satellite. This object, which orbits Earth, has been the subject of numerous conspiracy theories and speculation for many years. But what exactly is it? The Black Knight satellite is believed by some to be an ancient extraterrestrial satellite that has been orbiting Earth for thousands of years. Theories about its origins range from it being an alien probe sent to monitor human civilization to it being a piece of space debris from early human space missions. Some even speculate that it's connected to Nikola Tesla, who in 1899 detected signals that he believed were from space, which some think might have been from this satellite. Mainstream scientists, however, often dismiss these theories, suggesting that the object is likely just space debris or a thermal blanket lost during a space mission. Despite the controversy, the mystery surrounding the Black Knight satellite continues to capture the imagination of those interested in space and the unknown. Now, let's dive into some of the data from my session. Please bear in mind that this is my raw data, no deep analysis, and it is a target that is somewhat unverifiable, so I'll only focus on the amazing data that is somewhat verifiable. Also, it's worth saying that my personal bias goes towards the space blanket debris theory, but now I'm not so sure anymore, especially after I monitored another student who had some pretty amazing and interesting data on this target. I'll give you some quick hints towards the unverifiable data I got on my session though, especially in my task. I had a lot of data involving something really valuable and that there is some type of legal agreement or contract between two parties. One party that benefits immensely from this, which I called the shareholders, and one that doesn't benefit so much, which I called the people or the taxpayers. I also got some nuclear energy and nuclear fission data, but nothing that seems too relevant. Now let's dive into my core session and try to have a look at the data that is more verifiable. My session starts by trying to get some target contact information. On my first page, I get a weird pattern that makes me think of a leaf, so I sketch this. I get rounded, with a tail, and looks like a feather or leaf. I try to understand why I think this way and probe this concept and get that it's complex, beautiful, organic and natural. I then get an AOL of a kite. Nothing impressive here, but we are already speaking about flying. On my second page I sketch something that seems like a sunray, or something that emits light from its center. I get expanding, multiple pieces connected to center, some AOL of a peacock because of the pattern, and ask myself how it is expanding. I get that it's in a natural way, like sun rays, and that it's bright. I then get an AOL of a dandelion and deconstruct it as being multiple pieces, light, gray, and floating. What's interesting here is that I intuitively probe how is it floating. And I get that you can blow on it. Not impressive, but the fact I got interested in the floating aspect is pretty cool. On my third page it becomes very interesting. I draw a circular horizontal movement in multiple iterations and then the same pattern but in vertical movements and get rotation movement. There seems to be a vertical and horizontal round motion like atoms or the solar system. We are in outer space, this is great. I then probe my atoms or solar system idea and get gravity, forces, strong, movement, fast, going around. I try to understand how it is going around and get making circles, seated and perpetual. This whole page sounds like an orbit to me. I love it. I continue my exploration and get the idea of a boat. I try to probe this boat and get quite some concepts, feelings, and perceptions and deconstruct it as something man-made, metallic, that floats and that is a vehicle. I then get some wireless energetic ideas, beaming, rising, collision and frequency. It seems that something is beaming in multiple directions like lasers with particles colliding together. I then get the idea of some curved object beaming something on an angular man-made object. I then get a very weird diamond-shaped thing and get a sense that whatever is happening in that place that I mark with an X. I can't know what is happening there but thought it was interesting as I don't often get data like this with a focus on a particular point. I then try to get a few words from the target. The following words seem interesting to me. Map and mapping for their relation with the orbit. Temple and treasure, if this is not a blanket, it's definitely a treasure. I then get Maya and Atlantis. This could be a symbol for something ancient or a symbol of a myth. I then get globe, again this is very interesting considering the orbit. Gestation can be interesting as well if it would be something so old that has a purpose over time. Lastly, I find paradise quite interesting as a symbol as well as it's in the heavens as some would say. I then continue my quest and draw. Wait for it. A satellite. I decode this AOL as hovering, global, beaming like internet or GPS. This GPS idea is guiding, beamed, connected, converging in one point and is everywhere. I get it is floating, and its purpose is to hover, slide gently, cover and grow. It's global and it's from above. Who is this related to? The people of the Earth. For what purpose? To bring clarity and mapping. This is all amazing data. I then get this idea of a single point with beams going out again and sketch it. It seems to be energy colliding together and ending in a single point, similar to a GPS signal. The purpose is to guide and assemble together. The function is to guide and structure something that is unstructured. Finally, and this will please the conspiracies out there, I sketch this hovering object again, that seems to be hovering anticlockwise, and flag it as a vehicle in relation to the other things I perceived. I get that its main function is to go everywhere and spread. When probing for its purpose, I get the ideas of infecting like a virus, in the sense that it spreads, it connects to a host and takes control. Who is it taking control of? The users. And what is it taking control of? The information. Well, what can I say? This is all unverifiable, but this is what I got. I loved this session and was amazed that from a single target reference number I ended up in outer space, describing an orbit and a hovering object and calling it a satellite. Just amazing to me. For the ones who are still doubting that remote viewing is a real phenomenon, be aware that this is only my third session using the new methodology I'm currently learning, with my other video on the IceCube Neutrino Observatory being my fourth target. I just want to stress the fact that I didn't do 50 sessions and picked something random that was accurate for once to make a video. Remote viewing is very real, and the only thing I can say is I love it and I'm amazed at what can be done with a single target reference number. And that wraps up today's session on the Black Knight satellite. The world is full of mysteries waiting to be explored, and I'm thrilled to be on this journey of discovery. There's so much more out there, just waiting to be uncovered. Thank you for joining me in this exploration. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with others who might find it interesting. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next session.